Jai Hind, dear students. Welcome back to the biology class. I hope you all are doing well and completing your work and assignments and taking care of your health too. Last week, we discussed about the harmful microorganisms. I told you many diseases which are caused by microorganisms and the kinds of the diseases, the way they transmit from one person to another. Now today I start my class with the topic disease causing microorganisms and viruses in humans only. So I start with the table. This table is listed with the different types of the disease which are commonly seen in human beings. In this table, I have mentioned the causative microorganism, the way it gets transmitted, and the general prevention which can be taken to take care or to prevent that particular diseases. The first disease which is caused by bacteria is cholera. Now the way how it can be transmitted is either by water or food. Means contaminated food and water, they are the major cause for causing cholera. And how we can prevent it? In this, you can prevent your food and water from being contaminated. So you should always keep it covered. Do not allow the dirt to enter in water or food. Now in cholera what happens, the major symptoms in cholera is the loose motions which leads to the dehydration and the nervous breakdown too. Now second disease which is caused by bacteria is tuberculosis. Now tuberculosis is a very common disease seen in human beings, and in this the lungs get infected, person suffers from a cough and continuous it's a whooping cough and the pain in the chest and the breathing problem. The way it gets transmitted is through air. The best way to prevent the tuberculosis is by taking the immunization. Immunization means to take the vaccine. The name of the vaccine is BCG, the Bacilli Camelin Gurion. This name BCG was given in the honor of a scientist who is invented this vaccine for tuberculosis. Now the third disease is typhoid, which is again caused by bacteria, and this is spread by water and air. The typhoid is a disease in which the patient suffers from high fever, stomach ache, and pain, headache, vomiting sometime. So these are the common symptoms of the typhoid, and how you can prevent it? By human excreta should be disposed of properly, and if it is if it is in the open, then it should be covered with the mud or the sand. Now these are the few pictures which is showing the shape and the causative microorganisms. The first one is the microorganism which is causing the cholera, and the second one is a bacteria which is causing tuberculosis. A person who is having the cholera, the symptoms are mentioned here: the headache, vomiting, nausea, abdominal cramps, and the diarrhea. Here is another picture. The first one, the blue microbe, is responsible for the typhoid, and the another one is for the cold or the flu. Now the common cold, which is caused by virus, get transmitted by air, and the main prevention is just to maintain the distance from a patient who is suffering from a common cold. Now in common cold, it's a very common disease. You all know person have a sneezing problem and a cough problem sometime. The second disease is the chicken pox and the smallpox. This is again caused by virus, and generally it is spread by air and the direct contact. Prevention is you should always keep the patient in isolation, never be in touch with the patient or in contact with the patient. You should never use the belongings of the patient who is suffering from chickenpox or the smallpox. In chickenpox, smallpox, though now it is being eradicated, but chickenpox can be seen still. It is very commonly seen in human beings. And in these two diseases, the blisters they get, the blisters are formed, or the red blisters can be seen on the overall body that are very painful, along with the fever is there in the patient. The next is the polio, which is again caused by virus, and it gets transmitted either by contaminated food or water or air, then in this polio can be avoided by avoid taking the contaminated water. You should never take the contaminated water, otherwise polio can spread. Now polio, you all know children, government is trying too hard to eradicate this polio from the country, and for this the polio pulse polio mission is going on, and all the children till the age of 5 they are getting the vaccination at proper interval of time to complete eradication of the polio disease. And to some extent we are successful also, but still it is not completely eradicated. Then measles is again caused by virus and get transmitted by air. Now this measles, how you can prevent it? You should never use the patient's clothes and the belongings, and you should always wash the clothes of the patient separately. In another way you can say, you should not be in a direct contact of a patient who is suffering from measles. Now the best thing of measles, chickenpox and the smallpox is the vaccines are available. So the best way to prevent these diseases is to take the vaccination at the proper time suggested by the doctors. Now this is the smallpox. You can see the virus which causes smallpox, the picture of it, and the person who is suffering from a smallpox. You can see the whole body is covered with a red spots. It's a black and white picture. Now the smallpox, it's completely eradicated. It's not cannot be seen in the country because the vaccination was invented long back. This is chickenpox, the virus, the picture of the virus, as well as the patient who is having the chickenpox. You can see the red blisters filled with water. So they are quite big. These blisters are quite big and spread all over the body. And this is measles. Now the measles blisters are smaller as compared to the chickenpox, and they are not filled with the water. So this is the patient who is suffering from measles, and the picture is of the causative organism, that is virus. This is another disease caused by virus, is hepatitis B. Don't get confused with hepatitis A, because hepatitis A is completely different from hepatitis B. Hepatitis A in general we call jaundice, but hepatitis B is a disease which get transmitted in a very similar manner the AIDS get transmitted. And you can see the picture of a virus on the screen which causes hepatitis B. And in hepatitis B, the common symptoms is the chronic, the patient is liver, it get inflamed, or you can say the fibroid or the fibrotic, the liver becomes fibrotic. You can see the fibroids have developed in the liver, and after that the liver gets shrink. So this problem occur in hepatitis B. Now the next is the polio. I discussed before also this polio. Just a picture, a patient who is suffering from a polio disease. You can see the deformity in his leg, and the virus picture is also there on the screen. Now this is another disease caused by a virus, the rabies, and this rabies is a disease which gets generally transmitted by the saliva of an infected animal. So the infected animal bites any animal or a human being, then this rabies disease occurs. And in rabies, the person develops pain in the muscles, muscle spasm, fever, as well as hallucination. Sometimes the nervous breakdown takes place. So this is a very fatal disease, and proper care has to be taken once any person gets this disease, rabies. But the vaccinations are available for this also. Then another disease, the diarrhea. This is a disease which can be caused by bacteria, fungi, toxin, intestinal parasites. So any one of these microorganisms can cause diarrhea, and in diarrhea the loose motions occurs, and because of the continuous loose motions the person may suffer from the dehydration, and this dehydration may lead to the nervous breakdown also. So sometimes the diarrhea becomes fatal if not taking care, if it is not being taken care properly. And the diarrhea can be prevented by not taking the contaminated food and water. And when a person is suffering from diarrhea, one should take lot of water along with the salts, ORS we call it, oral rehydration salt, that prevents the diarrhea, and it maintains the salt balance in the body. Now, the diseases which we have discussed, and I told you the causative microorganism and as well as the prevention, the general prevention for those particular diseases. But here are certain preventions that has to be taken by everyone to prevent yourself from the diseases. So the 4 ways which can prevent us from the diseases are: first, you should take medicine to kill the disease causing microbe. Second, by killing the carriers of the disease causing microbes. Third, by preventing the growth of microbes around our houses. And fourth is by protecting the food from the contamination. So if these 4 things can be followed in our daily life, we can prevent to a large extent, we can prevent us from the diseases. Now, these are the following suggestions that are very helpful actually, and if you follow these suggestions in your daily life, definitely you can prevent yourself from the diseases. First is maintain your personal hygiene by taking bath daily, wearing clean clothes. This is very important. Taking bath, why you have to take bath daily? Because it cleans your body completely. It doesn't allow the microbes to grow upon your body. And wearing clean clothes is also important for the same reason. So this is the personal hygiene that has to be taken by everyone. Then second is keep your house and the surrounding area clean. Keep your domestic garbage in a garbage bin with a lid. Because if the garbage are open, then many mosquitoes and flies and many other microbes, they get a breeding place and they grow very fast in the garbage. So try to avoid keeping the garbage in your surrounding, and if the garbage bin is there also, it should always be covered. Third is do not let the garbage, kitchen waste, etc., sewage collect and stagnate at any place. The same reason which I told you before, this should not be allowed to stagnate, because again they become the breeding place for many microorganisms. Fourth is get your house, its surrounding and the garbage dumps, etc., sprayed with proper insecticides at regular intervals. So if in the surrounding the garbage is there or the water is being stagnated, then proper at regular intervals the spray of the insecticide should be done. Clip your nails regularly. This is very important. Clipping your nails, because the hand which we use, always we use our hands to take the food in our mouth. So your hand should be clean, and you can keep your hands clean by washing it definitely, and by clipping your nails, because the nails, if they are big, they give the shelter, and many microbes can grow in your nails itself. Then always use clean water. You should always use clean water for drinking, for washing your clothes, for washing your utensils. Means always you should use clean water. Then food and other eatables must be properly stored and kept covered. Wash all utensils and your hands thoroughly before taking your meals. Vegetables and fruits should be properly washed before eating. Whenever you are bringing the vegetables and fruits from the market, it should be properly washed, because in the market you don't know from where they are present, and from where they are being brought. So it should be cleaned properly before using it. And it is always good if you take out the peel of the vegetables and fruits and then you eat it. Then drink boiled and purified water, particularly during rainy season. Now this is very important thing that has to be taken care, because during rainy season the microbes get a chance to grow very fast because of the environmental conditions, and water also get contaminated because of the rain. So it is always being suggested to drink the boiled or the purified water by using the RO or the aquaguards. People suffering from the infectious disease should be isolated, and their discharge such as excreta, sputum should be disposed of properly. This I have already discussed before. In this, one thing, the sputum means the cough, the patient which gives out the sputum, it should be properly disposed of, because it may have many microbes in it and that may spread the disease. Children should be immunized against all children diseases at the proper time. This is very important. This is the best way to prevent yourself from the diseases, to get the vaccinations at proper interval of time as per the doctor's advice. Do not defecate and do not let others to defecate in the open. Never allow anyone to defecate in the open area, because excreta, it contains many germs, and these germs may get spread through soil, through water, through air, with the help of the vectors. So this is very important thing. No one should defecate in the open area. And last but not the least, one should always take the balanced diet, because this is very important for you to take the balanced diet that makes your immune system strong. Proper eating habits, proper food in your diet will make your immune system strong. And if your immune system is strong, then you are capable enough to fight against the microbes which enters in your body as invaders, and you can prevent yourself from the diseases. Another very important thing is the physical exercise. Physical exercise makes your body strong. Your body, your muscles, everything becomes strong, so that you can fight against the diseases, and you can maintain your health also. So these are the few things that should be taken care. And nowadays it is very important for you all, because you all know we are having a pandemic. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to prevent us from a disease called as corona. And these are the few precautions that has to be followed in your life. Then only you can prevent yourself from other diseases also, as well as from the corona too. So I hope this is enough for today. Next class, we will discuss about the different types of the diseases in animals and plants. Take care of you all. Till then, bye-bye and Jai Hind. Thank you.